Well, perhaps a bit.
He gestured for the butler to refill his wine. Again. Over my glass, I met Gilbert's gaze, and we shared a private smile. Mr. Scott addressed my father.
I say, Foster, did you not invest in that bank mentioned in the newspaper today? The one having some sort of trouble? We did, yes. My brother-in-law is one of the partners, but he assures us it's only a minor setback. All will be well.
Father sent me a guarded look, and I forced a reassuring smile. This wasn't the time or place to discuss finances, nor did I wish to cast a pall over Gilbert's send-off. When the meal concluded, the men remained behind to smoke and sip port, while the ladies retired to the drawing-room. Gilbert, however, did not remain with the other gentlemen. Instead, he asked me to join him in the library. I did so, my heart tripping a little faster with each step. Alone with Gilbert inside the candlelit room, I reminded myself to breathe normally. We stood very near each other at the high library table, necks bent to study the measured drawing of a church facade in classical style. Gilbert had won the Royal Academy's silver medal for the drawing, and a gold medal for his design of a Guildhall. For his achievements, Gilbert had received a travelling scholarship from the Academy to study architecture in Italy. I was so proud of him.
In the end, I altered the design to create a grander facade, Gilbert explained, with a Corinthian portico 6 columns wide, based on the Pantheon in Rome. And notice the steeple here? I designed its top stage to resemble a miniature temple.
He spoke with enthusiasm, but for once I wasn't really listening. My interest had strayed from the drawing to the man himself. With his eyes on his prize-winning design, I felt at liberty to study his profile, to linger on his features, his jaw more defined than I had noticed before, his cheekbone framed by long, stylish side whiskers, his lips thin but expressive as he spoke. I thought I might try to sketch him, though doubted my ability to do him justice. And he smelled good, too. Bay rum cologne, I thought, and mint. As he reached over to point to some detail of the drawing, his broad shoulder, elegant in evening wear, pressed against mine. I felt the warmth of it through my thin muslin and closed my eyes to savour the sensation.
What do you think?
I opened my eyes, chagrined to be caught not listening.
About the steeple?
Personally, I thought it a bit much, but held my tongue. In the past, I had often offered my opinion or a suggestion, but as the design had already won a medal from the Royal Academy, who was I to disagree?
Lovely, I murmured.
It was an innocuous, uninformed feminine remark, something Louisa might have said, but in his flush of triumph he didn't seem to notice. I glanced over my shoulder. Through the open library door I could see into the Scots' drawing-room. There, Susan slipped her arm through her husband's as they stood talking to my mother. My parents lived very separate lives. Father occupied with his club and investments, mother with her social calls, charities, and husband hunting for Louisa. No, I didn't want a marriage like my parents, but a life like Susan's, working side by side with the one you loved. Yes, that seemed ideal. With that hope, I glanced up at Gilbert. He had followed my gaze toward his newly married sister. He briefly met my eyes, then looked down, his Adam's apple convulsing, his fingers distractedly rolling the corner of his plan. Noticing his nervous hesitation, my heart beat hard.